Ay, ay, ay. Good morning. It is currently 9:46 a.m. Today we have a special mukbang for you guys. There is a ton of food because number one, when we got to the hotel, they basically told us we have like $150 credit of room service, so we definitely went all out. Obviously here with the boy Elliot Choy, today we're doing a collab on how to find your passion, especially while you're in college. Both of us are very, passionate about different subjects, but also overlapping themes as well. Obviously entrepreneurship, photography, and film are a few of the top criteria for us. So yeah, we're just gonna be jumping right into it. I guess we can show you what we have first. Surprisingly, we got the same exact order. The all-American breakfast. Bon appetit. I'm a scramble. I should have got those eggs though.
Over hard.
Yeah,
that's
dude, that's pretty solid. Obviously got our potatoes, our bacon, orange juice. Oh, here's your orange juice.
Thank you.
Dude, this orange juice was $10 for. Look how small this glass is.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, bro.
It's good.
That is freshly squeezed. We also have our nice berry bowl. Okay, I guess to start off, when it comes to finding your passion, it honestly genuinely comes down to, well, what are you passionate about? And that might seem like a dumb question, but especially at this point in your life, if you're like 18, 19, 20, I think you have found something, or should have found a couple things that you're genuinely interested in, right? And there is a little bit of a difference between interest and passion. For me and Elliot, the same, passion is something we can't go a day without thinking about. It's genuinely like on our minds 24/7. We're constantly trying to do something, and at the end of the day, for us, it probably is just like creating, whether it's content creation or, photography or film, all of that goes under the category of creating. And, we're both very driven individuals, and that keeps us motivated and helps us reach our goals of whatever we are trying to do.
I think especially when you're young, you can have multiple passions. For example, in high school, I was super passionate about photography, and I thought that I was going to become a photographer, which I'm obviously not right now. And my goals have kind of switched since then, and now I'm more interested in entrepreneurship and videography. So just because you say you're passionate about or something, and just because you choose a passion, it doesn't mean that you're stuck with that for life. So especially when you're young, it's about exploring your options and figuring out what's out there. What?
Yeah, why did they look? Why
did they give it in there?
You're white.
Yeah.
Me too, bro. We're literally the same person.
That's what they think.
That's what they think, bro. I think a big thing that, someone that we both look up to says a lot, Gary Vaynerchuk, is you have to taste a lot when you're young. We are still very young in the whole grand scheme of things. Like, we have not even begun the process of getting into the game. So for us to have found something that we're passionate about, we're very fortunate, and we realize that, it may not be the case for you where you are in your stage in life, but also it's very important that you have to test and try things. Like, if you don't ever get out into the real world and see what you are interested in, and whether it's by trying or actually doing, then you're not gonna eventually come up with some sort of passion.
Kind of going off of that, I can give a personal anecdote. So I'm interested in entrepreneurship only because I started flipping and reselling. And if I didn't have that experience, then there's no way that I'd be interested in entrepreneurship. And so definitely you find your passion by trying new things, kind of what Nick was saying, and just seeing what's out there. And that's pretty much what Nick was saying, but I just want to give that personal anecdote.
I think what I just realized is that, in order to find your passion, number one, you can't be chasing it for the fame or the fortune, right? Like, you need to go into something knowing that it's something that you could go every single day without getting paid for it, and you would still enjoy to do it. And I think that's a good way to summarize how it is you find your passion. For my personal anecdote, obviously I've grown up as a photographer, taking pictures for 4 to 5 years now, and like I said, it was never for anything other than the pure joy of just learning how to take better photos, learning how to create amazing images with landscapes and portraits. And growing that art and growing that passion was one of the most fulfilling things I've done in my life. And getting to the point where I am today, where I know so much about photography and film, those are tangible skills. Well, number one, benefit you immensely in the workforce when you have actual marketable, profitable skills that everyone is looking for these days. And number two, when it comes to just finding your own value in life, right? What do you want to bring to the world, and what skills and tool sets can you use to bring the most value and light to what it is you have to offer, and share your opinions, and yeah. We were both very tired because we went to sleep at 3 a.m. last night.
I think something important to consider is that passions are not necessarily just found, and it's not something where you can just be like, okay, now that I've found it, I'm gonna run with this. I think a lot of times passions are crafted, and it takes some time to actually develop a passion for something. And so even if right off the bat you're not completely in love with something that you're doing, it could actually be something that you're passionate about, but it takes some practice, it takes some time before you realize that it's something that you're truly passionate about. I think a common misconception is that people think that, oh, I just need to go out there and once I find my passion, I'll be set. But it's not really like that. You need to craft your passion, you need to build it. And I would say I'm more passionate about photography every single time I learn about, different editing techniques or different shooting techniques. And it's definitely a process. It's not something where you just come across, your passion, you're set for life.
Like Elliot's saying, you can try and test things out, and obviously at the beginning you're not going to be great. Like the first photos that we ever started taking were not good. If you if you look from where we started to where we are today, our skills and our experience and our portfolio has massively grown just literally by being in the field, practicing all the time, shooting with friends, and like making the most out of every single opportunity when it came to photography. And that's honestly the only way that you're going to get better with whatever passion it is. And so if you don't find it right away, and if you try at first and you're not good, then don't give up. Like if you give up, then then you've lost hope of finding any sort of passion. Like if you can't take at least like a couple months or even a couple years to dedicate yourself to one single thing, whether it's music or art or fashion design or graphic design or whatever, like you're not going to get anywhere. Other advice of finding passion is obviously talk to your friends and family, see the people closest to you, and ask them, what am I genuinely good at. And to be honest, a lot of things that you can be passionate about don't necessarily have to be tangible skills. Like obviously the things that we do are very tangible, and that's just because by sheer virtue of it. But it can also be like you're passionate about like managing groups or leading people or being the business person of a project or whatever. So like there are multiple aspects of finding your passion, and I don't think it's necessarily limited to just like you have to be a graphic designer and you have to learn how to do this or that. I think also that when you find a passion, it's really important to try to succeed to be just about the best you can be. And what I mean by that is, the best you can be within that certain level and field that you're at in that moment in your life. Obviously you're not going to be the world's best photographer or the world's best graphic designer, because there are always going to be people that are better than you. But if in that time and in your current situation, so whether I'm at Princeton or whether I was in high school around the DFW area, like trying to make myself the best videographer, the best photographer is a good goal to have, because it's not only going to massively improve your portfolio and the work that you do and the work ethic that you have, but it's also going to get you credibility and a huge clientele.
And this not only relates to your passion, but it also relates to everything you do in life. And I think this is actually a mantra that Nick and I live by each and every day, which is just the fact that we try to be the best version of ourselves and try our best in everything that we do. And for example, let's say I want to be like an entrepreneur. Like I don't have any CS skills, for example, so I'm not going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg, right? But I can still be the best Elliot Choy that I can be, and Nick can still be the best Nick Chae that he can be. And I think that's really important. Like don't try to compare yourself when it comes to how passionate am I about this, or how involved or successful am I in a certain area. It really comes down to your capability and achieving the fullest potential that you can achieve.
And going back to a point that Elliot mentioned, like comparison will literally kill you, right? If you constantly compare yourself. Personal anecdote, me comparing myself to Elliot's channel, like that is not healthy for me, and that is not the best way for me to grow as a person. Obviously what I can do is take tips from him and see how I can utilize those to my advantage as well. Don't compare yourself, whether it's with your passion, whether it's with your GPA, with your grades or anything. Like that's a huge tip just in life in general, regardless of this video, that like will not only benefit you in the future, but will just make you a genuinely happier person.
If you compare yourself to other people who are maybe not as ambitious as you are, then you're actually limiting yourself, because you're capable of X, but then you're only reaching for Y because you see that other people are also reaching for Y. So I think it's important to really set the bar for yourself and don't let anyone else set the bar for you.
Adding on to a point Elliot mentioned earlier, if you're gonna do something, you have to go all in. Like don't ever half-ass anything in life. Regardless of whatever it is, like be committed till the end, because that's characteristics of a hardworking person. Alright, that about wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed our first collab mukbang. The food was really good. I hope you guys got some insight out of these questions. We're gonna be filming another video on Elliot's channel, so make sure to go check it out in the description down below. Subscribe for more videos, and as always,
don't stress, finesse.
Yeah, yeet. Thank you.